all works out. We have a big crowd. I hear we have a very big crowd, and I think it's going to be great. She's a terrific woman, and so I thought we'd do a little bit of a rally for her, and it'll be very interesting.
Mr. President, Darling faced some criticism for her response at a debate earlier this week where she said national security is not her thing. Is that
well, no, all she was is being honest. She's very smart, and she was being honest. I mean, she's into the price of groceries, the price of food, the price of beef, and it hasn't been her thing, but she's surrounded by very good people, and she said that she's totally for the military. I mean, she's going to do what the military wants, and really what the president wants. She understands that national security is my thing, and she is a terrific woman who answered. I watched that. I thought it was a very honest answer, actually.
Mr. President, can you react to the ballroom, sir?
Yeah.
Do you guarantee that no tax money will be used in the construction of the ballroom?
Yeah, we're spending hundreds of millions of dollars on the ballroom, and it's all from people like me and great companies that are putting it up. It's going to be close to $400 million, and it's all paid for by patriots and patriotic companies, big companies. I'll name the companies probably over the next couple of weeks, but I want to ask if they mind. And really, most of them have said you could use my name gladly. So that's all money, no taxpayer money for the ballroom at all.
Did you direct Secretary Besson to intervene in the bond market? Was
No,
that your idea?
not at all. No, he's a very capable man. He wanted to do it. He's very good at it. He has a good touch, very good natural touch for the bonds and interest, and he did that, yeah.
The yields have come back up since then. Have you talked to him about another type of intervention? Is that something he will be doing?
We have many types of intervention. That's one. The ultimate intervention is our military. And if we have to use that, we will, yeah.
Mr. President, your move on beef imports is upsetting some ranchers, as well as some Republicans are asking you to delay that move on imports.
Well, we want to get the beef prices down, so we'll get them down a little bit. And that's what people want. That's what the voters want. And that's what I want. The ranchers are great. They're my people. I love the ranchers. They've done a fantastic job. But they admit that we need a little help and in order to get the prices down. So that's what we're doing.
Which countries did you arrange?
We're hearing that MAGA Inc. is going to start spending your war chest. What races are you putting money into, sir?
Well, I've raised a lot, and nobody knows what it is. But I will tell you, it's about $850 million. And I'll be spending a lot of that money and my own money, but I'll be spending a lot of that money for candidates that I think are good, Republican candidates that I think are good. So when you add the $850 million to all of the other money that we've raised, we're in very good shape.
Mr. President, there are several Republicans who are running for midterms this year who are starting to come out against AI data centers. Why do you think they're taking a different approach than you are?
Who are they, you know?
The Senate race in Ohio is one example where it's become a very hot topic.
Well, the data center subject to me is a pretty simple one. If you pick the right location, and it's got to be, not every location is perfect for it, but you pick the right location, what it means for a community is jobs and lots of money and lower taxes. And the data centers now are mandated by me that they build their own electricity, so they're not taking it from the grid.
Do you worry that
it's going to lower the electric cost because they're building electricity, and the extra, as an example, we talked about this once. I'm very proud of it. It was my idea. They're going to build their own electric producing facility, and that electricity that they have left over is going to the grid. It's going to lower the cost of electricity. So if I were a community, I would want the data center. It means jobs, it means income, and it means lower taxes.
Do you want Republican candidates to take the same take the same message on data centers?
No, I want them to do what they want. Some people feel differently. I really want them. If a Republican's against the data center, that's okay with me. I'm only saying that if I ran a community, now there are different types of communities, but generally speaking, if I ran a community, if I was a mayor or if I was a governor in a state, I would want to have the data centers because they bring tremendous income. They're clean. They produce their own energy. The new ones are producing their own energy. I would want to have data centers.
Mr. President, national debt, as you know, it surpassed $40 trillion Have you been discussing what to do about that?
Well, I have, and it's been a problem for 35 years. And what we have now that we've never had before, we had a pretty good piece of it in my first term, as you know, is we have tremendous growth. And the way you take care of debt is with growth. And we have tremendous growth. We've never had growth like we have right now. The growth will take care of that very easily.
Mr. President,
Good question, by the way.
Mr. President, on the beef deal, which countries did you make that deal with? What are the sources
Which
of
deal?
the beef deal?
I don't want to say which countries, but there are a few countries. But they're going to be sending in the highest quality beef, and it's something that we need. What else?
With economic
By the way, are we going to miss Caroline? I'm going to miss her. Let me have that. So here are some headlines in Caroline. I got to stand next to her. I feel so good with her. These are incredible headlines that just came out over the last 24 hours. It's probably easier if I show them to you than reading them. But basically, the biggest refunds ever given on taxes. That's big. Trump bump. Tax refunds jumped 17%. American tax refunds increased by $43 billion. That's money that the government is giving back to the people. $43 billion. FBI had the biggest violent crime drop in 90 years. These are today's headlines. Trump administration marks 15 straight months with zero border releases as apprehensions fund. So they've never had anything like that. So you had 15 months with zero people going through our border. I don't even know how that's possible, but they're doing a good job. Maybe you. Maybe
Scott
you.
Jennings, sir.
Scott Jennings is good. That one right there. My friend from Iowa. But I don't know, maybe she doesn't want it. I don't know, maybe Margot. What do you think of Margot? Maybe Margot. Let's see, who do we have in this group? I will tell you this, and Caroline will tell you this. I have never had so many job applications in my life.
Yes, sir.
They all want that job. They love that job. She's made that job very glamorous.
Sir, turning to Iran, the shifting economic warfare towards Iran, does that indicate that the military options in the region for the U.S. are limited?
No, not at all. It just means that we're seeing what happens. They have no money. They have no Navy. They have no Air Force. They are not paying their soldiers. They're not paying their police. They have 350% inflation. So we're just going to sort of see what happens. And we have total control, as you know, of the border. We have total control. If you look at the blockade, we have total control of that entire region having to do with the Strait of Hormuz. And that means well into it, the land areas. So they would love to make a deal, but they're not ready to make the right deal, in my opinion. Yeah.
For Canada, have you come to a deal there, or are you going to
I think so. We'll see.
deadline?
I've dealt with the Prime Minister, have a good relationship. And, yeah, we have to take care of our farmers. The farmers are very important to me. And the deal with Canada is moving along, and we should be able to have a deal with Canada. We're also starting on a new deal with Mexico, a much better deal for the United States. I only make good deals. Much better deal for the United States, both with Canada and Mexico. Thank you very much.
President, did you direct Ed Markey to resign, sir?
True.
reach Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the 45th and 47th President of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston and New York to LA, where there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say that I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the
Thank you. And I want to say a very special hello to Myrtle Beach, the home of 90 great golf courses. We're going to bring get everybody down to play golf. We're going to get them all. Everybody come on down and play golf here. Let them make a lot of money. Now you have great everything down here, but you're known for incredible golf courses, and so I want everyone to come down and use them, and I want you to make a lot of money when they do. And I'll make you a deal that if Darlene wins, I'll come down and play the best golfer in Myrtle Beach in a match. I will see who wins. I will play the best golfer down here. At least if they're not on the tour. If they're on the tour, forget it. And I want to say a very, very special hello to the great state of South Carolina, because I won this state with the highest vote count ever in the history of the state, all 3 times. But Henry McMaster, I have to say, did very well also. Where's Henry? There he is. He did very well. He's been with me from day one, right, Henry? And I want to just let you know I'm thrilled to be back with thousands of hardworking, God-fearing, true, unbelievable American patriots. That's where you are, front row Joe. We have front row Joes all over the place. We have the ladies from North Carolina. That's okay, right over there. They've been to 252 rallies. I can't believe it. I don't know how their husband puts up with it. They have these nice husbands. But I don't see them with you tonight. Thank you very much. It's been an honor. We've had a roll from 2016, right? From 2016, so many rallies, and we love them, and we love our front row Joes. They always get front row. I don't know how they do it. And I want to say hello to a very special person that's with us tonight, Darlene. Because Darlene is somebody I've known for a long time. I asked her to do this. I said, Darlene, you got to do it. Because everyone loves her, everyone respects her. I've known her through Lindsay. I've known her for a long time. I think Lindsay respected Darlene more than any other person he knows, including me. That does not make me happy. I'm not happy about that. I'm not happy about that, but one of those things. But with your help this November, we're going to stop the radical left Democrat communists here in South Carolina and all across the nation. And we're going to elect Senator Darlene Graham to fight for South Carolina and to always put America first. She only knows how to put America first. She will be somebody you're going to be very proud. You vote for her, you're going to be very proud of that vote. The first step is winning the runoff election this Tuesday. You have to get out August 25th. You have to get out and vote. And we need every South Carolina patriot to go to the polls and vote for Darlene Graham, if you would. And the polls are open 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. So on Tuesday, get out and vote. You got to get out to find your polling place. SwampTheVoteUSA.com. SwampTheVoteUSA.com. They have all the information if you need it. Most of you don't. But I'm in a very good mood tonight. I didn't mention this to Darlene because today we just learned that the big decision of the United States Supreme Court came down and the military/ballroom, this beautiful, magnificent complex, being built on the hallowed grounds of our cherished White House, which is so vital for national security, it's going to be the greatest of its kind anywhere that's ever been built. And it's something that presidents have wanted to be built for over 150 years. You know, we have a tiny little room right now. It's been that way for years. It's called the East Room, and it seats 88 people. And as an example, in 2 weeks, President Xi of China is coming. And I wish we had a ballroom, but in a very short period of time, in a year from now, you'll have one of the greatest anywhere in the world. And the military is being taken care of because of the military component for drones and for missiles and for bulletproof glass and for all of the things that you've needed. The military's wanted this done for 100 years, and presidents have wanted it done for 150 years. So I just want to thank the Supreme Court and the Chief Justice, and we have a ruling that it's proceed. When they say proceed, I think that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Nothing's easy today. And our construction is under budget and ahead of schedule. I always build under budget and ahead of schedule. And we build more beautiful than anybody else. And we're going to get that highway built for you, too, by the way. We're going to get that built. It's all ready to be funded. It's coming out of Washington. And it's coming out of Washington, and it's all ready to be finalized and funded. And I have to tell you, Russell Fry has been fantastic in getting it done. He's been great. And Russell Fry endorsed Darlene. Where is Russell? Are you here, Russell? Stand up, Russell. He's been my friend from day one. People ask me, who's the best one to run for a certain seat? Because we've won this place in such crowds and such numbers. But they say, who would be the best to replace a certain gentleman who wasn't very good? And everybody said, there's a young man named Russell Fry, right, Russell? And I put you up. And it was like magic. I hope we have the same result with Darlene, and I think we will. But Russell has been so fantastic, and we're going to get your tremendous roadway project done. It's all funded. It's all ready to go, okay? And thank you for all that support in every way. And with your support and Darlene fighting to go with South Carolina in the Senate, we're going to make sure that she gets there. We will continue to make America safer, stronger, and wealthier than ever before. We're going to make America greater than ever before, and we brought it to a level that it's never seen before. So less than 2 years ago, Sleepy Joe Biden, have you heard of him? And the radical left Democrats handed us a complete and total affordability and security disaster. Remember affordability? I got in. We won by a lot in a landslide. We won everything. We won everything. We won all 7 swing states. We won the popular vote by a lot. We won the counties, 87% of the counties in the country. Nobody's ever done that before. We won by a lot, but I got in. I had my first press conference. Look at all those press back there. I had my first press conference, and they started screaming the word affordability. I said, I've only been here for 1 day. And they started screaming about Front Row Joes know this, about eggs. Egg prices were up 4 or 5 times higher than they were a year before. And I said, I just got here. I'm here 1 day. And I got eggs down to lower there than when they were in my first term, and they were low. And other things are coming down. And beef is now coming down very rapidly. You see that? And as soon as we're finished with the Islamic Republic of Iran, as soon as we're finished, oil is going to be down at lower than it was even just a little while ago. We had it down to, for your cars, we had it down to 100. Think of this. I went to Iowa, love Iowa, and one gas station had it at $1.95 a gallon, and another one had it at $1.85. And then I went to meet with my people back in the White House the following day. I was in Iowa to make a speech. I left, I went, and I said, you know, I hate to do this to you because the country was booming. By the way, the stock market is much higher now than it was then, but, you know, and your 401ks are much higher now than it was then. But with all the good news, I said, I hate to do this, but we're going to have to take a little detour down to the Islamic Republic of Iran, and we're going to have to put out the nuclear weapons stuff because they're going to have a nuclear weapon, and we cannot let them have a nuclear weapon. We cannot let Iran have a nuclear weapon, or you'll see some very bad things. So we went down and we stopped them. They'll never have a nuclear weapon. They want to make a deal so badly. We don't even know if we want, because I view the Strait of Hormuz as an American territory right now. It's an American territory. But Biden created the worst inflation in 48 years, the worst trade deficit in world history, and open borders allowing millions and millions of people to pour in from all over the globe, including from prisons and jails. They came from prisons and jails from other countries, from mental institutions and insane asylums, from drug dealers, and 11,888 murderers, stone-cold murderers, most of whom killed more than one person. These people were allowed to flow into our country. Murderers, think of it. They emptied their jails, including Venezuela. I now love Venezuela. We're making billions and billions of dollars from Venezuela. We're getting along great with Venezuela. That was, by the way, nobody likes to talk about that. That was 1 day. 1 day. Everybody said, oh, it's going to be long. It was 1 day. And actually, in a certain way, a little different, but certain way, we're doing equally as well with Iran. The fake news just doesn't want to report it that way. But they are now coming around because there's not much they can say. When a country doesn't have any longer a Navy, an Air Force, radar, technical equipment, manufacturing, their leaders are gone. Their second set of leaders are gone. Parts of their third set of the leaders are gone. In fact, it's actually one of my biggest problems. I don't know who the hell to deal with. It's a problem. It's the only country in the world where nobody wants to be president. They say, who wants to be president? No, I don't want to be president. So it's a little bit of a problem. They gave us this is Biden. He didn't know what the hell he was doing. They gave us the transgender mutilization of your children. They gave us men playing in women's sports. Doesn't work. My wife hates when I do that. She says it's so unpresidential, darling. I said, I won in a landslide. No, she said she doesn't like when I do the swimming routine or the weightlifting routine. I said, darling, I won in a landslide. It's okay. And she hates when I dance to the gay national anthem. That's what it is. It's called the gay national anthem. You know, I got the highest gay vote in the history of politics for a Republican. And I played the gay national anthem. So, you know, what can I tell you? I'll take it. We're going to take it. We got the highest of everything. But men playing in women's sports, they gave us open borders. Anybody could come in. The whole world was laughing at us. They were laughing at us like we were a bunch of dumb fools. But they're not laughing anymore. They don't laugh at us anymore. And starting the day that I took the oath of office, we ended the migrant invasion of our country. It was an invasion, just like an army. We sealed our borders shut and began sending vicious illegal alien criminals back home, and we've got a lot of them out of here, and the rest are going very rapidly. We imposed historic tariffs on foreign goods. The tariffs were making a fortune with tariffs. And what it's really doing, even more than that, all these companies are now coming and building in the United States. $19.2 trillion is being invested right now in the United States, more than any country at any time by many, many times. You know, I said for years, I've said it, because other countries were doing it to us, but nobody can do it like we're doing it. But I said the other day, and I said it many times, and you've heard it many, many times, I said, tariffs is my all-time favorite word. I love tariffs. I love the word. It's made us rich as hell. But it's really brought, you know why? Because if a country is sending, let's say, a car in here, I say, you got to pay 25% tariff. They say, well, we can't do that. I said, that's okay. You don't have to do it. Come over here and build your cars in the United States. And that's what they're doing in South Carolina. You have record manufacturing and auto plants being built right now in the United States, and in South Carolina, you're doing great. I said, that's okay. You just come in and build your product here, whether it's a car or anything else. And we've never had anything like it. You know, we went 40 years without building a car factory. And now we're building more car plants and factories than we ever have in the history of our country. Can you believe it? But I said, Darlene, I said, my favorite word is tariff. And those people back there, the fake news, they killed me. They went after me. No, they went after me. They said tariff is his favorite word. What about God? What about religion? What about your wife, your children? What about family? So I made tariff my fifth favorite, and now I have no problem with the media. I have no problem anymore with the media. Tariff is my fifth favorite word. And last month, inflation dropped at the fastest rate in many years, and more Americans are working today than at any point in the history of our country, right now, today. And you haven't seen anything yet because they're working today, but the factories are being built. So the construction jobs are through the roof because they're building all of these plants, factories, hundreds of them all over the country, thousands of them. Except for the fake polls out there, my poll numbers are great. No, they have such fake polls. So we have the greatest economy in our history. Now, some people haven't seen it yet, but they will because the job numbers are so good. They will. But we have the greatest poll numbers that I've ever had. We have the greatest economy that I've ever had. We had one of the greatest economies in history in my first term. This is blowing it away. But then I'll see a poll, and they'll say, Trump is at 44% on the economy. How can it be at 44? We have more people working now than ever before, and I'm at 44%. No. I'm at 30 points. Maybe I should be at 100% on the economy. But you're going to see it in a short period of time. And the prices are all coming down. John McLaughlin, the great pollster, he's one of the greats, just told me that if you ran today, nobody could come close to you. Nobody would be within 20 points. I believe that's right. Likewise, a great Tony Fabrizio, a great pollster, he said the same thing. He said nobody could come close to beating you. Unfortunately, we have a little rule and regulation that says you're not allowed to run. If they'd like to change that, I'll be very happy. But look at the rallies. Look at what we have today. You have thousands of people standing outside, can't get in. They're standing outside, and we're not even really running. But we are running because we have to get Darlene and other people elected. So we are running. And the problem that we have is they say that Trump does great when he's on the ballot, but when he's not on the ballot, his people don't come and they don't vote for senators, congressmen, and other Republicans. And that these people, they're running, they're great, but if Trump isn't actually on the ballot. So what I really want you to do is pretend, please, that I'm on the ballot. Just come and vote. It's so important. So just say that I'm on the ballot. One more time, you got to say it, and you got to come out and vote. Because if we lose, you're going to lose your border. You're going to lose your tax cuts. You're going to lose everything that we've done. We've gotten the biggest tax cuts in history. Think about no tax on tips, no tax on Social Security for our seniors, no tax on overtime. All of that's going to be gone. Your taxes are going to go up. Your pay is going to go down. Your jobs are going to be lost. They're going to end up closing up. Your businesses are going to flee just like they did years ago. They're going to flee our country. I'm going to be impeached. They're going to impeach me. They have no idea why. I saw today a congressman said on one of the shows, we're going to impeach President Trump. We're going to impeach him. Oh, really? Why? The person was asking. A neutral commentator for a change. I like neutral commentators. Oh, I see. You're going to impeach him. Why? Well, I don't know. I don't know. That's all right. That person's going home to mom, going to get scolded because mom is voting for us. You know, mom is voting. But I said, you're going to lose all of your tax breaks. You're going to lose everything. So you have to get out and vote. No, they're going to do it. They're going to impeach. But did you see it this morning? This congressman, it's a big story. He's on, we're going to impeach President Trump. Why are you going to impeach him? The commentator, why are you going to impeach him? What has he done wrong? I don't know. I don't know. We're working on it. We're looking at different things. The guy had no idea. It's a disgusting thing. So you're going to lose everything. I'm going to have to go through impeachment. These are lunatics. These are people that are vicious, violent, that weaponize the justice system, the Justice Department, and they want to destroy our country. They want to see that our country fail. They want our country to fail, and we can't let that happen. You have to get out and vote in the midterms. One other thing, and, you know, they know Darlene because Lindsey was so prominent. He was so amazing. But they know how great she is and they want Darlene to lose and the election, and they want really, I hate to tell you this, Darlene, they want Darlene to lose because of me. If I would support somebody else, in fact, Darlene, I'll do that if you'd like me to. Because, you know, when I fought for the wall, we ended up building 1,200 miles of wall. I used to say, we will build a wall. You remember, I would come down here, we will build the wall. The wall has been, and we built the wall. We built a lot of wall. We built the whole thing. But I said, we will build the wall. It took me 2 years, a little bit slow sometimes. If I would have said, we will not build the wall, they would have given me all the money I want. So, Darlene, I'll say, I do not want Darlene to win. No, they don't want her to win because they know how good. And they think that it hurts MAGA. It hurts. And MAGA is, if you look at the Republican Party is MAGA. It's like, you know, I watched another commentator say the Republican Party is only 70% MAGA. Let me tell you, the Republican Party, I think, the real Republican Party is 100% Make America Great Again. But they're only fighting, Darlene, because they want me to lose, which isn't fair. But I'm doing this to honor Lindsay. I'm doing this to honor Lindsay. That's why I'm here. I don't have to be here on a Friday. I don't have to be here. Although I must say I love it. And now that I am here, we got plenty of time to talk, right? We got plenty of time. So, Darlene, we got to win that race. And we appreciate that you're doing it. I asked her to do it. She didn't. She was very happy. Henry appointed her because she was a perfect appointment to serve out the term. And I said, Henry, she should really run. She's fantastic. We all know it. And I said, Darlene, I called her. I said, Darlene, I'd love to see you run beyond the 5 months that you're serving. And you've already made an impact in the Senate. You know that. Everybody respects you. Everybody listens to you. So I asked her to run. And I think she's going to do phenomenally. I really think it's amazing. You know, she's never done it before, but she knows politics well. But she loves things. She loves our military. She loves things that have to do with greatness for America. So the Democrats hate our country. They're communists. They're radical left lunatics. And frankly, they're, in many cases, horrible, horrible people. Do you remember as crooked Hillary Clinton? Remember crooked Hillary Clinton? She said, do you remember when she said they're deplorable and irredeemable, right? Remember the word deplorable? That was a killer. That was the end of her election. And it's amazing because I heard her say that. I was watching her. I said, wow, that's tough. She said, they're deplorable and irredeemable. And I said, the word irredeemable is not going to be accepted. Well, actually, that was accepted, but deplorable wasn't. So, you know, I think irredeemable is worse. But she was deplorable, and what they're doing is deplorable. And we have to make the midterm elections too big to rig. Very simple. Too big to rig. Like we did my election. And I upheld my ultimate promise, and that's I made our country great again. We made our country great in a much shorter period of time than anybody thought. And we can never let it go back to where it was just 2 years ago. Our country was a laughing stock all over the world. 2 years ago, our country was dead. Now we are the hottest country anywhere in the world. Everybody will tell you. Anywhere in the world. And under our leadership, America is winning again. America is respected again like it has never been respected before. I can tell you, they respect your president. They laughed at your president. They respect this president. But now the radical left Democrats, I call them Democrats because their policy is so dumb. Think of it. Men in women's sports, open borders for the entire world to pour into, totally unchecked, unvetted. Think of it. The transgender nonsense, like everybody, your children should be mutilated in a chair. Can you believe these things? and I don't talk about it too much until we get right before an election because I don't want them to change. Because anybody that believes in defunding the police and all these, they want to defund the police, and they want to. Anybody that believes in this stuff cannot win an election. So I always tell the Republicans, don't talk about it because they'll change. Do it 1 week, 2 weeks before the election. And that's where we are. We're a week before the election. So we're talking about it, Darlene. But the radical left Democrats want to destroy all the progress that we made and bring back their nation-wrecking nightmare of open borders, of sanctuary cities, of massive tax hikes, crippling energy restrictions, ruinous inflation, the highest ever, the highest at a minimum in 48 years, racist DEI mandates, and defunding the police. But Senator Darlene Graham and the people of South Carolina are not going to let that happen, right? We're not going to let it happen. For 4 long years of Biden, you saw the radical Democrat agenda in action, and we're never going back. We can't go back. We can never do that again. That was close to the end of our country. I'll tell you what, had I not won, and this isn't about me, but had I not won, our country was ruined. We would have never been able to come back. Welfare was doubling. Welfare was set to triple, and our business was going down the tubes. The companies were all leaving. Now these big companies are all coming into our country, and that to me means 2 things: money for our country, taxes, and jobs. Jobs. It really means a lot of jobs. Remember what I say, and I'll say it again and again. There are more people working today in the United States of America than at any time in the history of our country. And I have to be telling the truth because those fake news reporters, if I exaggerate, if I'm wrong by one person, they're going to say, this was terrible. He exaggerated. I've learned. I say it so straight. Sometimes I won't even say certain things if I'm not sure. We have more people working today than at any time in the history of our country. We're going to get out in the midterms, and we're not going to let them steal this election. And we have people laughing at America as they were just 2 years ago. We're not going to let that happen. We're not going to let people laugh at us anymore. We're the smart country now, not the dumb country. We were a dumb, stupid country led by a very, very stupid person who wasn't leading. Now running the most extreme, unhinged, anti-American candidates in the history of our country. Their party has gone full-on communist. Do you remember at the State of the Union, Tim Scott was there? Barrasso was there, Senator Barrasso, a great senator. I don't know what the hell you're doing so far. Where's Barrasso? Look at him. He's a great senator. Not from these parts, but he likes these parts, and he likes Tim Scott. But they were there, and I said at the State of the Union, our country will never be a socialist country, right? Will never be. Well, and thank you. No, I said our country will never be a socialist country, and I was 100% right. No, I said our country will never be a socialist country, and I was 100% right. It's gone communist. Okay, so they skipped socialism. They went like this. Forget socialism. They've gone head-on communist, not socialist. In fact, we're looking for some socialists. Are there any around, please? No, they've gone communist, but we're not going to let that happen. That I can tell you. It's never worked. In 1,000 years with different names, lots of different names, it's never worked once. In Florida, 3 days ago, Democrats nominated an official member of the Marxist Democrat Socialists of America Party for the U.S. Senate. This is the easiest race that I've ever seen. We have a great candidate, as you know. And I'm going to call her. I'm going to say there's actually pressure on her Because when you have somebody that bad running against you, you actually have pressure. You got to win by a lot. But she's going to do fantastic. A group that stands for eliminating the United States Senate, replacing the presidency and the Supreme Court of the United States. And I'm happy with the Supreme Court today, very happy, okay? Defunding and abolishing the police. Amnesty for all illegals, including murderers and all other criminals, including ending our military, enacting reparations for a very small group of people, and of course, immediately abolishing all prisons and terminating police. Other than that, I think they're quite reasonable. Crime, squalor, and filth will take over our country. And, you know, I said it last week. For the first time with all the campaigning, I said this last week. I said, you know, I've watched some of these blue states run by radical left, like this guy in Chicago, in Illinois, the governor, Pritzker. It's amazing what happens. It all becomes, I'm a very clean person, you know. I like to clean my hands as much as possible and all this. I don't like paper in the ground. I like everything nice and clean, like we did with Washington, D.C. You can ask the senators. Washington, D.C. was almost the crime capital of the United States. Can you imagine? We took out over 5,000 career criminals, and everything's clean. Our monuments are clean. We took 82 monuments, fountains, beautiful. Everything's so beautiful. They had graffiti. Many of them didn't work for 35 years. And Washington is beautiful, and more importantly, it's very safe. We changed the grass in a lot of the parks. The homeless are no longer there in the tents that were all over the place. The homeless are no longer there. Terrible. I did that all in a year. In 1 year, we did it. You know, a restaurateur, they were all losing their restaurants. Nobody was going to restaurants. Now you can't get a restaurant in Washington, D.C., and for those people that want to go out and eat, you're lucky if you can even get into it. It's the hottest. It's become one of the hottest cities in the entire United States. And isn't that nice? It's the capital of our nation. It's clean. It's safe. It's beautiful. And I want to thank our National Guard, who did a phenomenal job. Telling you, you can't get into a restaurant, Tim, right? John, you can't get into a restaurant. That's a bad thing. You want to go to a restaurant, you can't get in. Before you could get in, and then somebody would walk in and hold up the whole restaurant. Stick them up. It's hard to believe. They don't do that anymore in Washington. No, crime is down 78%. Think of that. Crime in Memphis is way down. I got a call from the governor, good governor, and he said, could you come and do something? It's down 80%. Crime in New Orleans, they just had Mardi Gras. The governor, great guy, Jeff Landry, he said, President, we need help. We have Mardi Gras. This is 2 or 3 months ago. He said, we have Mardi Gras. This place is a crime fest. And I sent in the National Guard and some great experts, and they had the safest Mardi Gras they've ever had. Crime is down 79%. This is after 5 months. And I could do the same thing for New York, for Chicago, and LA. All they have to do is call me. It would be easy. Terrible what's gone on in Illinois. But in Michigan, the Democrat nominee for Senate, Abdul El-Sayed, admitted openly that he wants to pack the Supreme Court with 23 far-left justices to shred the Constitution of the United States. His sister, very close relationship, celebrated the terrorist slaughter of babies on October 7th. His mother worked for an organization that gave hundreds of thousands of dollars to a gentleman named Osama bin Laden. Have you heard of him? Knocked down the World Trade Center. She gave him a lot of money, and he recently campaigned with a communist fanatic who says that America deserved 9/11. We deserved it, right? We deserved all that death, destruction. In Texas, the Democrat nominee for Senate said he hates Christianity and that the 10 Commandments are a form of fascism. The 10 Commandments are fascism. He is a disaster, that guy. That guy is a disaster. And just last week, the entire Democrat National Committee voted to abolish ICE, meaning the official Democrat Party platform now is, on top of everything else, they want to do that. I mean, they want to end all enforcement. They want to end law and order in our country. They want to make it worse than it was. When I took over, our border was being overrun by millions and millions of people. Ultimate 25 million people throughout the 4-year period came into our country. They want to make it easier. Was that a good thing? Was that good or bad? I think she said Trump Nation. I like that. I like that. I like that. Leave her alone. Don't do it. She said Trump Nation. That's okay. Trump Nation's okay. I wasn't sure. You never know what they're saying nowadays, do you, Front Row Joes? But communism is the single greatest threat to our country in history, including World War I, World War II, Pearl Harbor, 9/11. And that's why we're going to crush the radical Democrats at the ballot box this November. And we're going to defeat communism in America once and for all. We're going to defeat it. It's never worked. It's dirty. It's filthy. It's unhappy. Did you ever see a happy communist? You ever see a communist laugh? I never saw it. I've known communists. They don't laugh. They're very unhappy people. We want to be happy. With your vote for Darlene on Tuesday, we are going to send a message straight to the Democrat Party headquarters in Washington. We're going to tell them that we will never abolish ICE. We will never surrender our Constitution. And we will never allow our country to even think about being a communist or even a socialist country. We're not going to let it happen. Darlene Graham has devoted her entire life to the people of the state, just like her brother. He was so, that's all he talked about was South Carolina. He was driving me crazy. I love the people. Yet I got higher votes than him. Explain that, Darlene. He loved this state. For years, Darlene led an important state agency with 130 employees, and she ran it impeccably. And a $90 million budget. She served on the South Carolina Workforce Development Board, which was legendary to help working families. And when her beloved brother, Lindsey, passed away unexpectedly, I can't believe he's not here even. I went to her and I said, you got to run, Darlene. And with your support, Darlene will defend common sense in our nation's capital. She'll fight for lower taxes, bigger paychecks, no amnesty for illegal aliens. And she'll always protect your Second Amendment, the right to keep and bear arms. And Darlene, more than anything else, because her brother was very much about the world. It was very much about the world. He really had it right, but he focused very much on that. That's good. That's fine. But she's more about affordability. She's about what we have, how much a loaf of bread is going to cost, how much beef is going to cost. Beef is coming down rapidly, by the way. But she was very much about affordability, I think more so than Lindsey, much more so. He had some unbelievable things going, but he was really about foreign nations not hurting our country. He was about Iran not having a nuclear weapon. He felt so strongly. Look, if that ever happened, if they ever did, they use it, they'd wipe out Israel immediately. They'd wipe out the Middle East. And you don't think they'd be coming here? You'd say, which city is next? We're not going to let that happen. We have them. Those B-2 bombers a year ago, they ended that hope. But as much as anybody in the Senate, and maybe more, Darlene will support our military. I spoke to her 2 days ago, and what she really wants to do is support our military and make sure they're taken care of. Because, you know, the Democrats take care of illegal aliens. They give them the best hotel rooms in the country. As our military sat outside, remember during Biden? Our military veterans were sitting outside on a freezing sidewalk in New York, and the illegal aliens were upstairs in hotel suites being paid thousands of dollars a night to that hotel while our veterans were outside. And she brought that up to me, and I think it's something she's never forgotten. It was terrible, and we ended that very rapidly. The Democrat who Darlene is running to defeat is a far-left political hack who supports transgender for everybody and believes in telling confused children they're trapped in the wrong body. By the way, do you notice how that's changing now? In fact, hospitals now are doing reverse surgery at my order. They're doing reverse surgery. Nobody ever heard about it. Darlene is also a anti-gun. Think of it. She's going to be protecting a thing called your Second Amendment, which is so important, and it's under siege. And Darlene, I can use your help because I want to tell you, I've been protecting it for 10 years. And every time there's an incident, it starts over and over again. I protected your Second Amendment. Nobody else could have protected it like I did. And I worked with John and with Tim Scott, and many others. We had great Republican senators, in all fairness, on the Second Amendment. But it's not easy, and Darlene's going to help us with the Second Amendment, and we need the help. If you put that other person in, if you put that Democrat in, she will be fighting. Look, it's going to be a vote to get rid of your guns. You can't do it. Can't do it. And I'm not talking about the enjoyment aspect of it, and that's important, but you have to be able to defend yourself against lunatics. So, in a nutshell, you have to defeat the Democrats and elect Darlene Graham. Now, if you don't mind, because you heard her, I was on a plane coming here. Could I ask Darlene to come up for a second? Do you mind? Darlene, please come up. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you, Mr. President. Thank you for your endorsement. It has meant the world to me. Thank you for your support. Thank you for coming to South Carolina. This is MAGA country, right? Yes. Woo! Absolutely. And Mr. President, I want to thank you for that beautiful eulogy you gave at Lindsay's service. That meant the world to me. It was beautiful, y'all, if you didn't hear it. And his friendship with Lindsay meant so much to Lindsay. You were one of his closest friends. I hope you know that. And you will forever be part of the Graham family for that. And I met with the president a few weeks ago in the Oval Office, and I left that office knowing that he is going to work. He works every single day, all day long, so hard for this country. It is amazing. And Mr. President, I am proud to stand with you, to work hard for this country, and to work for this great state of South Carolina every single day. You know, Mr. President, Joe Biden just about ruined our country. He opened the borders and let people flood in here, terrorists and illegals, and you saved our country, and I want to thank you for that. So again, thank you so much for coming to South Carolina. We love President Trump in South Carolina, don't we? Yes, we do. This is Trump country. Yeah. USA, 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 USA.
Got a nice way about her. You know, you're all standing up for her. You didn't stand up for me. What's going on? I'm angry. I don't like this. I'm upset with Darlene. Thank you, Darlene. Great job. It's a lot of love. Thank you, Darlene. With Darlene's help in the Senate, we're going to continue to build on the most successful 19 months of any administration in American history. We've had the best first year and a half of any president in history. There's not been anybody that's done what we've done in terms of our military, in terms of tax cuts. You know, the Democrats want to raise your taxes. All my life, I've watched politicians, and all my life, I watched them say, we will cut your taxes, we will cut taxes, we will lower your taxes. These people say we're going to raise your taxes. And people go and vote for them. I don't get it. I don't get it. But in great news for South Carolina workers and the Port of Charleston, it was recently announced that American exports have skyrocketed to the highest level in American history. That's your port that we helped so much. And that Henry is already asking me for more money. Let's make it a little deeper. Do you mind, sir? Oh, yeah, great. Thank you, Henry. I appreciate it. But Henry was after money. He's always after money for the state. But he always gets it. I always give it to him. Likewise, manufacturing is booming at the fastest pace in many, many years here and all over our nation, in all fairness. The stock market is set 80 all-time highs since our election. So we've been in for a year and a half. Think of that. And the typical 401k is up by nearly $40,000 since I took office, setting records day after day. It's at the highest level. 401ks are at the highest level in history. And with the help of our Republican majorities in Congress last year, I proudly signed the great, big, beautiful bill delivering the largest tax cuts in American history. We gave you no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security for our great seniors. And we also made interest on car loans 100% tax deductible, but only if you buy a car that's made in the USA, if that's okay. That never happened for people that go out and vote. They never had that. I'm getting you a deduction. You're not used to, rich people are used to deductions, but people that work very hard, middle income, upper middle income, they're not allowed to take. We have a deduction. You can deduct the interest from your income tax. It's going to be a very big thing, and it's selling cars all over the place. Something like that never happened. That was one of my little ideas. So there was no tax on tips, which was particularly good in the state of Nevada, where everybody is a waitress, caddy, or waiter. That was a pretty good idea. You know, they came in about 2 months later. They said, we want no tax on tips, and they got laughed out of the place. We won the state. First Republican to win that state in many, many years. And we're going to win it for a long time to come, Nevada. But everything we've done on taxes and all of the things, jobs, all of those things are going to be wiped out if the Democrats are allowed to win, and that's why you have to go out and vote. While the radical Democrats like to say that they stand for working people, they don't. In fact, every single Democrat in Congress voted against your tax cuts. Think of it. Every single Democrat. Is that a correct statement, John, Tim, everybody? They voted against your tax cuts. They voted against no tax on tips. They voted against no tax on overtime. They voted against no tax on Social Security. The Democrats want to raise your taxes, not lower them. They voted against voter ID. They voted against proof of citizenship. When you go to vote, we want you to just show ID, please. Voter ID with a photo if it's okay. Okay? With a photo. Because I don't want to get, if I'm working behind a booth, I don't want to get Senator Tim Scott confused with Trey Gowdy, as an example. If Tim hands me his identification and it shows a picture of Trey Gowdy, I'm going to say, I'm sorry, sir, this isn't working. Right? Right? It's not going to happen, Tim. But they voted against our police, they voted against our military, and they voted against our vets. Everything. They voted against everything. They voted in favor of transgender mutilization of your children. They voted in favor of men playing in women's sports, and every single Democrat in the House and Senate, every one of them voted against our work to achieve the most secure border in the United States history. Not one person voted in favor of the border or the wall, where I built 1,200 miles of wall. That's one of the reasons we have the record that we did. And in the past, this is hard to believe actually, but in the past 15 months, a historic record of 0 illegal aliens have been admitted into the United States of America. 0. And we've cut the flow of fentanyl across our border by 64%. Think of that. 64. And by the way, coming in by water, fentanyl coming in, down 97%. 97. Think of it, down 97%. And it's nasty. But, you know, they call it intradict. We would intradict. We'd get the boats. We'd bring them to Miami. We'd give the guy a fine. He'd go to court. The court would let him out 15 minutes later. He'd be back on a boat that night bringing drugs into our country. They don't do that anymore. They don't do that anymore. They get hit. They get hit. Never miss. We have the greatest military in the world. They get hit. I built the military in my first term. Created a Space Force with the help of those two guys and plenty of others. But we created Space Force, but now they get hit. So it's down 97%. And here's what we're doing. Tim Scott, John Barrasso are looking for the 3% of the people that still do that because we consider them to be the bravest people anywhere in the world. The 3% that are willing to go and take drugs into our country, I think, Tim, they're the bravest people anywhere in the world. Or they don't watch television. Maybe they don't watch television. But we're down 97% by sea. Can you believe it? And now the easy part begins. Now we stop them by land. The harder part was by water. And we're finding the migrant criminals that the Democrats let in, and we're putting them in jail and throwing them out of the country. You know, one of the best statistics, I say it all the time now, because Washington is a good case. We moved 5,000 criminals out of Washington, D.C. Otherwise, we couldn't have the record we had. But 2% of the population creates 91% of the crime. And see, that can work. If we said 40%, 50%, 30%, that would be very tough. That's a real problem. That's almost unsolvable. All problems are solved, but that's almost unsolvable. So only 2% of the population, because you have criminals that create crimes, some cases 3-4 crimes a day. 2% of the population creates 91% of the crimes. We got them the hell out of our country. Okay, we got them out. Some are in jail. Some are in jail because they're so dangerous. We don't want to take any chance. They're murderers. Just days ago, in a wealthy suburban neighborhood in Virginia, a sadistic illegal alien monster from El Salvador murdered a 42-year-old mother, stabbing her repeatedly over and over again, dumping her in a park, and trying to light her blood-soaked body on fire after putting gasoline all over her. Didn't get to do that, but she was long dead. This savage animal entered our country illegally in 2024. And under the open border, stupid policy of the radical Democrats, he was released into the United States again and again. A lot of people are asking me, what do you do? And would you do me a favor? Would you ever read The Snake? Do you remember The Snake, anybody? Would anybody like to hear The Snake? It's Friday. We have plenty of time. I have all this time. Do you want to hear The Snake? Gotta read. Look, it's a Friday night. We have plenty of time, right? What the hell do I have to do? Go back, bomb Iran a little bit more? What the hell? So this is from an old song with some changes, and I just think it's so apropos, especially when you hear of the story I just told you. And it's called The Snake, and it represents our border and the horrible people that this country has allowed into our country through the Obama and the Biden administrations. On her way to work one morning, down the path along the lake, a tender-hearted woman saw a poor, half-frozen snake. Her pretty colored skin had been all frosted with the dew. Poor thing, she cried, I'll take you in, and I'll take care of you. Take me in, O tender woman, take me in for heaven's sake. Take me in, O tender woman, sighed the vicious snake. She wrapped him up all cozy in a comforter of silk and laid him by her fireside with some honey and some milk. She hurried home from work that night, and soon as she arrived, she found the pretty snake she'd taken in had been revived. Take me in, O tender woman. Take me in for heaven's sake. Take me in, O tender woman, cried the vicious snake. She clutched him to her bosom. You're so beautiful, she cried. But if I hadn't brought you in by now, you truly would have died. She stroked his pretty skin again and kissed and held him tight. But instead of saying, thank you, ma'am, the snake gave her a vicious bite. Take me in, O tender woman. Take me in for heaven's sake. Take me in, O tender woman, sighed the vicious snake. I saved you, cried the woman, and you've bitten me, but why? You know your bite is poisonous, and now I'm going to die. Shut up, silly woman, said the reptile with a grin. You knew damn well I was a snake before you took me in. That's our border. That's our border. That's our border. Haven't done that in a long time. Right? Haven't done that in a long time. So true. That's our border. People are coming in. They're murderers. They're not going to change. They're not going to change. Nothing you can do to change them. They were born killers. And we're not keeping them in our country. They're getting out. We're bringing them out. And thank you, ICE. And thank you, Border Patrol. And thank you, law enforcement. And if you want millions of migrant criminals sent into your communities to loot and maim and rob and pillage and kill, vote for the radical left Democrats. They will fulfill your needs. If you want to get the migrant criminals out of your communities, you have to vote Republican. We're doing it rapidly. We're making up all of that, all of the horror that was allowed. You know, they gave us the worst inflation in 48 years in history, as far as I'm concerned. And all of these things, I've already solved that, mostly solved it. It'll be soon solved when the fuel comes down. It's going to come rocketing down. But I've already said the worst thing they did to us is allow 25 million people into our country that was so bad, so evil, many of them, so bad. And these countries forced them out. You know, the countries didn't want them. Even the ones that didn't have prison records, they were, you will see, largely on welfare. They didn't work. There were problems. These countries are smart. I know the leaders. I know all of them. Very streetwise. By the way, I want to do one thing, if I could interject, because sitting next to Darlene is a very handsome man. It's her husband, and her family is here. And I have to ask you, please stand up. Would you please stand up? What a great guy. Great. Look at the family. Great people. That's like from a postcard. In my old days, I'd grab that family and use them in an ad for a hotel. I'd say, do you mind taking an ad, Darlene? I want to use you people for an ad. What a beautiful family. And I have to mention that it's so good that your family is so supportive, because without that, it doesn't work. Thank you very much. You're doing it for the country. Thank you. Thank you. Great. Last year, under my leadership, we achieved the largest drop in murder. Think of that. Ever. The largest murder rate drop ever recorded to the lowest level in 125 years, since the year 1900, 125 years. And we're making America safe again at home and strong again on the world stage. Everyone's respecting us. And thanks to Republicans in Congress, we're making the largest ever investment in the United States Armed Forces by far. And these guys are helping a lot. And I built our military during my first term, and we're using it now. But the late, great Senator Lindsey Graham was always one of the fiercest defenders of the United States military. There is nobody that fought for our military like Lindsey. And I'm proud to say that we officially named Joint Base Charleston in his honor. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. And he really deserves it. You see things named after people, sometimes you say, what's that all about? He deserves it. So we're delivering Joint Base Lindsey Graham, nearly $360 million in this year's defense spending. That's good for your state also. And millions more are going to be spent on the Marines at Beaufort and Parris Island. With Darlene as your senator, those bases will be part of the bedrock of American military dominance for decades and decades to come. And I'm so proud of what we're able to do so easily with Lindsey. You know, name changes on bases is a big deal. It takes many, many years, right? This one took a week. That's how much he deserved it. So congratulations to the entire family, Darlene. Great. We miss him. And we're pleased also to be joined tonight by many great South Carolina patriots, including just about my first endorsement in the great state of South Carolina. He was the lieutenant governor at the time. And you had a governor that I didn't like too much. And she endorsed somebody else. And I said, that's strange, because I was always very good to her. But we had a lieutenant governor named Henry McMaster, and Peg is a part of Henry McMaster. And he said, I endorse the guy named Donald Trump who's running. He's going to be a great president. And I want to just ask, and you have been an unbelievable governor. And I want to thank Henry McMaster. Thank you, Henry. Please. And by the way, he was the first. There were a few Republicans that are good, but he was the first one. He kept your state totally open during COVID, okay? That's pretty good. He turned out to be right. Darlene, right? These other guys, they closed up the states. The states will never actually recover, mostly blue states in all fairness. With us also is Senator Tim Scott and Senator John Barrasso. Would you come up? Come on up. And I want to ask Russell Fry to come up. Come up, Russell. Come up here. What the hell? It's Friday night. What are we going to do? Let's have a good time, right?
Is South Carolina Donald J. Trump country? Oh, now this is South Carolina. And when we say we love President Trump, we say it loud and we say it proud. Is this Donald Trump country? Oh, yeah. We love a president who closes our borders. We love a president who cuts our taxes. And we love a president who keeps Americans safe.
Mr. President, I told these folks earlier that Wyoming and South Carolina are states filled with conservative people who love Donald J. Trump, the President of the United States. And I told them that you and Darlene in Wyoming follow what we call the cowboy code. You live each day with courage, you take pride in your work, and you do what needs to be done every day for the people of this great country. And for this, we are very, very grateful.
Myrtle Beach, how we doing? Like the president said, it is Friday. Are y'all ready for November? Are we going to let the Democrats unseal our border again? Are we going to let them raise our taxes? Are we going to let them transform our children into robots? Oh, of course we're not. You know why? Because MAGA is strong, and MAGA is strong when we work as a team. This team right here, and Darlene Graham is our next senator. Let's go get the job done.
And by the way, Governor McMaster has just endorsed very strongly, very powerfully, Senator Graham. So that's good. That's a big endorsement. Darlene, that's a big endorsement. I don't know, that's pretty good. I think it was, a lot of politicians want to stay out of a race. They never get involved, but that's why Henry's different. But just gave her a full-throated endorsement. Thank you very much. That's great. Thank you, Henry. Also with us is the Speaker of the South Carolina House, Merrill Smith. Thank you, Merrill. Thank you very much. Good job. And two fantastic Republican candidates who have my complete and total endorsement. Jenny Honeycutt for the 1st Congressional District. Jenny's terrific. And Congressional District, think of this, somebody that's very special, somebody that I've known for a long time, Cody Simpson for Agriculture Commissioner. Cody's going to do a great job, right? Thank you, Cody, very much. Good luck. I also want to express our thanks to a wonderful woman here tonight who has done an unbelievable job. It's so sad. You meet people and you love people, but her name is Caroline. And she's our press secretary. And she just had a baby. And I just learned she loves the baby more than she loves Donald Trump. And I'm very angry with her. Where is Caroline? She's fantastic. You haven't heard the last of her. She'll be working for us outside, but she's going to spend a little time with those two beautiful babies, right? Thank you, Caroline. What a job. Oh, bring her up. They're all... Come on, Caroline. Bring her up. Come on, Caroline.
Hello, South Carolina. Thank you. Well, thank you, Mr. President. You didn't need to bring me up on stage, though I do love a good podium. And I just want to say, President Trump, you are the most consequential and historic president in the history of our great country. And it has been the honor of my life to serve as your White House press secretary, sir. It really has. And I just want to let everyone in this room know how hard this man works for all of you and for every American across the country. Regardless of whether they're a Republican or a Democrat, you call this man at 6 in the morning, you call him at 3 in the morning, he picks up the phone because he's looking out for you. And he needs your help with a Republican Congress for the next 2 years so he can make our country greater and stronger and wealthier than ever before. So get out and vote. Thank you.
Well, she was great, and she continues to be great. And you'll be hearing from her. She's got a great life ahead. But, you know, she wants to be with the babies for a little while at least. And she is very special. Thank you very much, Caroline. So in just 19 months, we've turned this country completely around. And today our border is secure, jobs are up, inflation is down, investment is pouring in, factories are opening. Our military is more powerful than it has ever been before. America is back, and our greatest victories are yet to come. Today, with our Republican majorities in Congress, we will crush violent crime, impose harsh new penalties for dangerous repeat offenders, crack down on Marxist prosecutors, and we will end no cash bail, where it all started, no cash bail. We will expand my most favored nation policy on drug prices, where drugs are down 70, 80, and 90%. Nobody has ever even thought of that. For decades, Americans paid the highest prices for prescription drugs anywhere in the world by far. And now we are paying the lowest price paid by any other country. So you went from paying the highest prices in the world to the lowest prices in the world. And I had to work hard to get that done. So I'm giving you the largest prescription drug price cuts in history, with differences of 400, 500, and even 600%. Think of that. You'd ever think you'd hear that? You know, it's funny. In my first term, I was very proud because I was able to cut drug from January to December by, think of this, 0.1%. It's the first time a drug cut was able to get through for a year period in 28 years. So they went 28 years where drugs only went this way, prescription drugs and drugs of all kinds. And I was told that I was the first in 28 years to cut 0.1%. And I had a news conference, and I was beaming. I thought it was great. 0.1%. Now I've cut drug prices 60, 70, 80, and even 90%. Who would have thought? And other presidents knew this was a possibility, but they weren't able to get it done. Most of them never even tried, but I got the other countries to do it. They had to agree to it. You think it was easy? Because their prices had to go up in order for our prices to come down. And I said, you gotta let your prices rise. And we did. They had to double and triple their prices in order to get us that cut. And I won't tell you what I said to them, but it wasn't very pleasant, I can tell you. So we should win the midterms on this issue alone, on drug pricing alone, we should win. And that's going to have a huge impact on your health care, because health care is, so much of it is made up on prescription drugs. Together, we will pass the great health care plan to stop all payments to big insurance companies and give the money directly to the people so that they can buy their own health care, which will be much better care at a much lower price. A lot of money left over. And finally, we must pass the Save America Act to defend our sacred American elections. You know what I mean? Got to do it. You got to do it, Tim. We have. And to do that, all voters must show voter ID, and all voters must provide, very simply, proof of citizenship. And we will enshrine, we had a victory in the Supreme Court on this subject, but we got to get it done permanently and good. We will enshrine no men in women's sports and no transgender mutilization of our children. And it's hard to believe we have to fight. Who could believe that we're standing up here? Can you imagine being like 20 years ago and you'd have a presidential candidate or a president standing up saying, we will not allow men to play in women's sports? They'd say, this guy's crazy. And now it's like a battle. Can you believe it? Or transgender mutilization of your children will take place. Now, could you imagine saying that like 20 years ago, even 15 years ago? They take the guy off and put him in a cage. They'd say there's something wrong with him. And I actually have to get up and fight for no men playing in women's sports, no transgender surgery of your children. It's not even believable, but that's the radical left. They're crazy, and you can't let them get involved any further with this country. But once again, it all begins with voting for Darlene Graham and some great, great people. And in this case, the runoff is Tuesday, August 25th. And I will be watching all day long. No, I want that to happen. For Lindsay, I want it to happen. The polls open at 7 a.m. and close at 7 p.m. So get your friends and get your neighbors and get out and vote for Darlene Graham. And remember, they say again that Trump gets a lot of votes, but if he's not on the ballot, people don't vote so much. I am on the ballot. We're all on the ballot. Our country's on the ballot. You have to get out. You have to vote. I am on the ballot. We're all on the ballot. So in closing, ladies and gentlemen of South Carolina, the golden age of America is upon us. And together with your help and patriots all across this magnificent land, we will make America powerful again. We will make America wealthy again. We will make America healthy again. We will make America strong again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. And above all, we will make America great again. Thank you, South Carolina. Thank you, Myrtle Beach. I'll be back. Thank you. Thank you. Good luck, Darlene. Good luck. Gonna have a big win. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. God bless you.
To feel down, I said, young man, pick yourself off the ground. I said, young man, cause you're in a new town. There's no need to be unhappy, young man. There's a place you can go. I said, young man, when you're short on your dough, you can stay there. And I'm sure you will find many ways to have a good time. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. They have everything for young men to enjoy. You can hang out with all the boys. It's fun to stay at
大家好，我是主播林家远。生活压力大、失眠、浅眠是现代人常见的烦恼。太阳星全效克菲尔益生菌现在进一步推出晚安加强版，添加水染 GABA、色氨酸、茶氨酸、香蜂草4大天然草本，选择太阳星全效克菲尔益生菌，做好日常保养，身体轻松无负担。每日克菲尔，时刻美好 ，Good Feel Good。请上快点购为健康下单，输入推荐码有额外折扣。太阳星全效克菲尔益生菌基础版、晚安加强版，新包装改版，内容不变，抽取更方便。要吃就吃最好的。